Hey, everybody on the League. First off, I want to say to everyone, happy Thanksgiving. It's been a pretty incredible last 3 years or so being a part of the League and getting to know a lot of you personally and just interacting with everybody. And so thank you for that. I'm truly grateful for each and every one of you. And I hope you enjoy a little time off on this Thanksgiving to be able to spend with people that you care about and love. And thanks for tuning in to spend a little bit of that time with me. I thought I would share with you a few things today, as well as let you know that I have a special offer available for each and every one of you on my website, miscreantmedia.bigcartel.com. For Thanksgiving, also for, the ubiquitous Black Friday sale, I'm basically doing 40% off everything on my website. Comics, poetry books, apparel, prints, custom covers, you name it. 40% off for everybody on the League. You just simply need to go to my website, put in LEAGUE40 at checkout, and you'll get 40% off your order. Simple as that. It's pretty awesome. And it applies to everything, which means that you'll likely be getting books lower than the cost to produce them in this case. And I'm only going to do it just for a very limited time. So hopefully you guys can take advantage of that right away. But while we're together right now, let's take a look at some of the things that you'll find there. This cool shirt for my upcoming sci-fi horror graphic novel, of course. You'll be able to get your hands on copies of the second edition Ashcan, as well as Whispers from the Voyage, the companion piece. These are both great comics to pick up to kind of get you started on your When We Were the Voyage journey and in preparation of the upcoming graphic novel. That's super exciting. If you're interested in zines and things of that nature, we've got Miscreant, of course, which was my seminal piece that I put out. We have copies of Miscreant in this beautiful silk gloss edition. And then you'll want to pick up a copy of The Ink That Binds. This is a really interesting zine that I put out that kind of teeters a little bit on psychological horror, as well as it has a really positive message about the power of creative collaboration. But what's unique is once you break this little caution tape seal and go inside, there's actually a book nested inside the book. So you get two stories for one, and they sort of, like an Ouroboros tale, it's sort of a snake eating its tail. You can read them in either order, and they both complement each other, and they're both part of the same story, but in completely different ways. This is a unique and challenging read. I did all the art inside as well as all the writing, so take a look at The Ink That Binds. In that vein of things that are unique in the comic space is my work called The Last Pixel. This is, I'm really proud of. This is a conceptual comic that utilizes a very minimalistic design to tell a really fascinating story about the universe, its origins, its potential, and when and how technology interacts with humanity. What unfolds ultimately is a mystery waiting for you inside. What's really cool about this is I did this in an 8x8 square pixel shape. So these collector's edition versions are available. And then also we have the comic book format, and it has these really cool, distinct, different color covers that are available as well. So get your hands on those. Of course, Prismatic. If you've been on the League for any length of time, you've probably seen me post about Prismatic. If you have not begun your journey in the Prismatic anthology universe, now is the perfect time to do it at 40% off. And you can go on my site and pick one of the 4 amazing covers of Prismatic that are available. So we have the cover by Anna Mochek, which is the main cover, and it's absolutely a gorgeous wraparound. So get your hands on this one. Then we've got Austin Ackert's really cool Black Hole and Prismatic Shattering light spectrum cover. Then we have Jose Gillian's really masterful black and white line work cover. And then Damon Begay's really gorgeous, very unique, different font treatment for the logo, really colorful party, bathroom selfie party mirror cover. It has all the characters from the different stories in a sort of like selfie pose, which is really unique and different. And if you look closely on all of these covers, actually, the ones by Jose and by Austin, it has all of the different characters from the different stories in it. They're nested in the design, which is really fantastic. So jump on board Prismatic. And one thing that's really cool about the story, not only am I really proud of it, it's a beautiful, endearing, touching for sort of relationship-oriented love stories, for lack of a better word, sort of wrapped in a sci-fi setting, a sci-fi jacket, and yet at the same time are all very heartfelt, touching, and sort of challenge your preconceptions and touch on themes of diversity and love and loss and how we as humans are able to deal with the challenges of our emotions and relationships, the people that we love, that we think we love, the people that we've lost. And it does so in a way that will certainly be unique and distinct from anything you've read out there. We also have this blank cover version of Prismatic. So this is great if you're an artist and you just want to have a blank cover of a cool indie comic so that you can do your own art on it. But at 40% off, you can also order one of these custom covers. And if you do, on my website, you will be able to enter in a little comment field at checkout. And you can tell me what you would like me to draw and color on the cover. And I will do a custom art piece on Prismatic for you. Some samples have been, I've done a Swamp Thing cover for one person. I did one that was a Jack Skellington and Sally in Star Trek uniforms cover, which was kind of crazy. I did a version of one of the League users who sent me a picture of their dog, that wanted their dog done in a sort of When We Were the Voyage design scheme. So that was really fun, turning their puppy into a cartoon and then transmogrifying it with all this sort of like science fiction metallic elements and monstrous little bits, which was cool. But speaking of monsters, if you are a fan and are excited of When We Were the Voyage, like I think quite a few of you are, you'll also want to get your hands on a copy of Grim Night Room. This, you probably are seeing me chatting about this. We have it both in a trade paperback version, and then we have this beautiful hardcover editions. And this is, by extension, part of the When We Were the Voyage universe, but also its own standalone story that is an homage to the 1947 Goodnight Moon book. So it takes sort of this beloved children's tale and turns it into something that is just pure nightmare. But it's done in this really gorgeous stylistic artistry by Anna Mochek, who did the cover of the main cover of Prismatic and the second story, Daylily Inside. So partnering her has been a real treat. You can also pick up at 40% off right now my collection of poetry books. So I have, of course, This Is Our Secret was my first chapbook of poetry I ever published, and it's really beautiful design with NXOE doing the cover work and design on that. The second book is What of Us Remains. Marco Fontanilli, fantastic Italian artist, did the cover for this as well, and I'm really proud. This is the first and second book in a trilogy of chapbooks. The third book is still in production. But on top of that also, I call it sort of my poetry book 2.5 is And In Our Absence. And I really am very proud of this 85, 90 page book that combines my poetry with my art. And what's really nice is all the poems in here are little bite-sized vignettes of poetic themes. So you can dive in at any point in the book and just get your little poetry fix on and a little splash of art. And this, it's kind of like a mini coffee table book of poetry and art. So this is really cool. While you're on the site, check out some of the prints that are available. So with When We Were the Voyage, graphic novel coming out here shortly and will be available online for Kickstarter backing very soon. And I hope you all jump on board. It's going to be a tremendous, enormous, epic sci-fi horror release. We have prints available from the book in these gorgeous 11 by 17 formats. So I only have a few of these printed. There's only 5 of each copy of these really thick, high quality print pieces of scenes from the book, as you can see here. These are really gorgeous and hyper detailed. It doesn't probably show too well in the camera in that awful glare, but the detail work is just tremendous. You can really just sink your teeth into each and every one. These are scenes both from the chapbook as well as from the first chapter of the upcoming graphic novel. So you'll be able to get a sneak peek at some of the art that's going to be coming out. And what's really cool is I'm doing these. This is actually from the new book itself. No one's seen this one yet. This is a really cool throne scene with a harvester and the feaster at his side, atop a pile of corpses and skulls, with the flaming ruins of Earth in the background, holding the skull in his hand. Very, a lot of good foreshadowing there. This is really cool. What I'm doing with these, if you pick these up, you can choose to have just the plain print, or if you'd like a laminated version, I'm happy to do that at no extra cost for those of you who just want to hang it up on your wall and don't have a frame or anything, but still want it to be protected. So you can choose which version you want on the website. Like I said, there's only 5 of each of these designed, and they are numbered 1 through 5 in the bottom corner, and then they'll be signed and delivered in a gigantic mailer. I've got these fantastic large format mailers so that they'll come to you flat, not rolled up, not damaged, and then, you know, I'll bag and board them basically. And then I'm doing this really cool thing, I think is pretty cool, for this Thanksgiving, Black Friday type of sale or event on my website, is sort of want to give you an opportunity to get your hands on physical copies of the Gumbo Boombox cards. These are those digital cards that you may have seen on the League, that we've been doing these really cool little voting and polls of like a giant silhouette grid of characters from one of the upcoming stories in Gumbo Boombox. The story universe is called Bones, and there's over 100 characters on this big grid that Latik Curry and I have created specifically just for this one story. And so we've been doing polls on the League, which has really been awesome to have you guys participate on. And we're unlocking these characters. So here we have Nullgrave, and we even did a really cool little short story release for free for people that went to gumboboombox.com and gave us their email address to kind of, you know, become an early adopter of this big epic anthology work that we're working on. Here we've got Red, Nina Salazar. She's a fantastic character. Her story is coming up next as another freebie for people that are early adopters of Gumbo Boombox. Share their email and, you know, get themselves sort of on the wait list to find out more about that world. Gumbo Boombox is a really exciting project because there's 5 different universes in this anthology. Bones is really the only one we've spoken about so far. The other 4 we're kind of keeping under wraps for the time being. But they are each as equally immersive and incredibly detailed and fantastical, and touches on themes of science fiction, fantasy, adventure, horror, superheroes, the works. It really is a Gumbo Boombox. You know, Gumbo being an awesome smorgasbord meal and a boombox just playing all the different diversity of sounds. So you get delicious and diverse range of offerings from this one anthology project. Okay, I think that's about it that I have to say for you right now. Again, thanks everybody for just being, your incredible version of yourself on the League. And I hope you're having a wonderful Thanksgiving. And I hope you'll take a moment to head over to my website and pick up a couple comics, or all, especially using a code LEAGUE40. You're going to get 40% off the entire order. It's a pretty good deal. Like I said, too good to refuse. Anyway, so head over there and take advantage of that while you can. And you know what? If you have a couple of these books already, it's a great opportunity to maybe get a few as gifts for the upcoming holiday season that you can give others, or even pay it forward. Maybe you want to buy them for someone, or maybe for another member on the League, to kind of get them on board this indie journey of mine as a comic book creator. That would be really fantastic and certainly appreciated. Feel free to share, help spread the word. I am completely independent and produce and publish all of my own works myself, and I'm not part of the big 2 or the big 3 or big 4 or any of those. So even though I definitely support them and read tons of comics, it'd be nice to see a little bit more support and backing for indie creators, especially those on the League like myself and a few others who really try to stay engaged and also, are very proactively communicating with you all and creating friendships and relationships and spreading the good word of indie comics and trying to do something original, distinct, and unique that is not seen by any of these other publishers. And I think you'll find that in my works. So I hope you give it a shot. Okay, for real this time. Goodbye. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy holidays. We'll talk again soon. Look forward to seeing you online. Bye.